kind of things, like in a lot of countries, it's north and south, capital city versus the rest of the country, the southeast versus everything else. Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, seeing themselves as separate units. So I think particularly the UK is in a period of transition that could lead to quite dramatic changes in the way that the country's governed and set up. But certainly, I'm rambling, but the major point really is that we need to seriously look at education in the UK and how the curriculum is driven from a multicultural revision, really.
Okay, thank you so much, Roy. And Zahavi, can you say something about last week meeting? Small summary maybe and reflection, please. Please unmute.
Thank you.
Okay, please. We cannot hear you, Zahavi. Please open your mic, please.
That's it?
Yes, it works now.
Thank you for being involved in this debate. Last time we talked about the different people who live in different parts of the world, and I during the weekend I tried to design a mind mapping of the Moroccan. I sent you one of this with the Roman at the beginning. When they arrived, they were Berber. Then they came the Arab, then the French, then the Spanish. So this diversity in Morocco is a very sweet cocktail, melting pot, which make the Moroccan society. So when the Arab came, they brought some new things, customs, language, and religion. But before then, there were Berber, and Berber had 3 languages in Morocco. We have Tashlhit in the south, we have Tarifit on the mountains, and we have Tamazight in the middle. And we have Tifinagh. Tifinagh is the language which is written. It's difficult, though the Tarifit and Tashlhit are difficult to be understood by everyone. So Reformation in 2011, the new Moroccan constitution implemented Tamazight in schools. So students start learning, because at the beginning, just Arabic and French were taught in schools. But the constitution of 2011 implemented Tamazight and some Hassaniya. Hassaniya is an Arabic language taught and learned and spoken by the Sahrawi, the people living in the Sahara, in Ayoun, Dakhla, Smara. These people speak Arabic, very pure dialect Arabic. So the Ministry of Education wanted to implement these languages with the Reformation and Constitution in 2011. And Morocco is a rich country. And when you go to Morocco, we have 12 regions. And whenever you go to a region, you see, it seems that you are going to another country, but you are still in Morocco. So I am working on the mind mapping to share it with everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will share your map and you will speak too on it. And now, Johanna, it is your turn. Johanna, it is your turn. Can you make a summary about last week or training? And can you give us some reflection about it?
You call me?
Yes, we are asking.
I was not here last week. I sent you an email that I was sick.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. At the end, we will have a summary from you. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
in our culture, when someone gets over, I hope you are better now, Joanna.
Sorry, I turned off again. Yes, I'm better. Thank you.
Yeah, you look very with shining face and healthy. Nice to see you again. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Rosa, it is your turn, please. Next is Ajda, and Esmeralda, Aleyna, Begüm will continue. Rosa, please.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Are you asking about the reflection about the last session?
Yes, we did, and what we learned about the last week training.
Just a general reflection. I thought that was important to have some general concepts about cultural and the issues related to, and mainly that's it. I think it also was important to share some experience about, some personal experience about if we had or not experience related with the discrimination,
Right.
as many as I remember. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ajda, please, it's your turn.
Excuse me, actually, we are willing to hear as well. Is there anything that you wanted to say about and you missed? I mean, during this week, maybe something came up to your mind and you want to share with us. So
Yeah.
the ones who are coming next, if you please think about that as well, will be appreciated. Thank you.
Yes,
Ajda.
hello. Yes, on the last meeting, it was nice that we met each other, but I wanted to have more training, maybe with each in groups and etc. about international relationships and how we can how we can get like fight with racial things. So I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. Esmeralda, please.
Hello. So about last week.
Yes, sure.
I didn't do my homework.
Yeah, you are very clear. You can make a summary what we did last week.
Well, more or less some things were already mentioned, but yeah, for me it was a good intro to the topic that we will go deeper today, and it was interesting also to learn some interesting aspects of other cultures and also to hear the experiences of the participants regarding their cultural misunderstanding, let's say, in other countries where they have been traveled or lived. It's always interesting to hear practices and concrete examples from the real life, let's say, not just the ones that we read on paper. And I look forward to the session of today, and we have prepared some nice presentations. You'll be competing a bit with each other with one of the games that we have prepared, let's say. And wishing a fruitful time today.
Thank you, Esmeralda. Aleyna, please, your turn.
I remember what was. Sorry, that was.
I remember that you put some picture from your village.
Yeah, it was from my hometown, the beach, the castle. We were talking about our cultural, where we came from and what's going on about the specifically in cultural way and what's happening. And I also have kind of tell a legend about it. And also we were talking about the racism and let's say the misunderstanding about the differences. And that's all I think that I remember about what we are talking about. Also, we talk about India, how to rest.
Yes, thank you. And Begüm? Begüm, are you there or sleeping?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Last week we talked about traditions that are important across cultures. For example, I give the example of Turkish cafe hospitality for the Turks and everyone game examples. I could not remember.
Yes, because you are on exam this week. She's having exam. That's why she's very studying very hard. So thank you, Begum. And Sylvia. Sylvia, can you hear us?
Yes, I am here.
Please.
Thank you. So last week we have a first meeting, and I'd like when we presented to each other, so we have possibility to know each other better and to know our cultures, to see pictures from our countries. Of course, in this training, material about discrimination was presented in very simple format, like in graphic and in pictures, and it's very useful. Sometimes we know information, but it's very good when we can repeat it again and see everything in more simple format. Also, like I do not remember who said, Aida, maybe. I wish for you to organize more workshops, like non-formal trainings. My organization works more in non-formal field, and we see much more better results when we use non-formal activities. It's better for participants and it's more attractive. So I wish you good training and good evening today.
Okay, thank you, Sylvia. Tonight for training, we are going to make a questionnaire, and then we are going to organize a breakout rooms, etc. Today, we will be very active. Okay, the next is from Spain, Virginia. Patricia sent a message. She is going to speak in 10 minutes. Virginia, we can not hear you. Okay. And last is Kwan.
Hello.
Please, we can hear you.
Yeah, I didn't.
You are welcome.
Thank you. I remember, well, more than you said before, but I remember we talked about the culture, what is the different means for using maybe some object, and for me it's different for you living in another place. And we talk about what you think about the different things, about the different culture, about the different countries.
Okay, thank you. The last one is Kwamania. Kwamania, can you hear us? I think she cannot hear us. And let me make a summary what we had last week. I think you can see our screen. Is it? Wilkame, you can see?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. I will make a very fast summary what we had last week. We asked what is culture, the question, and then we learned that culture is a way of life, material, idea, behavior. There are dimensions of culture, values, norms, idea, roles, symbol, etc. And culture is related with language, communication, rituals, roles, values, etc. And we also talked about characteristic of culture. and subcultures, and culture is a symbol. It is related with religion and ethic, language, and we know that culture is learned, and also culture is a dynamics process, because culture is in computer science terminology loading, it is continuum. And also we talk about iceberg over the sea, under the sea, what is our behavior, visible or not visible things. Not visible things is under the water, ocean. And we talk about culture and interpersonal communication. We learned also inculturization, ethnic identity, and occultization. And we learned also many things. Now, maybe let's make another sample. Zahavi, maybe you can tell us your mining map. I know mining maps start clocks way, go right,
Yes.
to the left. Yes.
Yes, thank
Maybe,
you. So
maybe yeah,
I usually teach through mind mapping and concept maps, because for me, my students are used to mind mapping. So cultural diversity in Morocco, you have the Romans, the people who came to Morocco, they brought architectural remains. When you go to Fez, you can see Walili, which was built by the Romans. French, you have language, they brought the language, the cuisine, it means the food, the clothing, architectural remains too. The Spanish too brought language, cuisine, clothing, architectural. When you go to the north in Tetuan or Tangier, Larash, you can find buildings, houses. The African, they brought the music, the Gnawa music, and every year we celebrate in El Sawira with Mr. Diamonds this Gnawa music, which is brought from the Africa, the cuisine, the African soap, and clothing celebration. And at the University Hassan II, we celebrate diversity with all the foreign students who brings their food, their clothes, and everything. Then we have the Jewish who have brought their music from the Andalusian classical music. We can hear in the Moroccan music some Jewish music which was brought from Spain. And we have schina. Schina is some sort of food which we are invited to eat in with our friends, brothers, and community Jewish. Then we have the henna for the celebration of the wedding. The bridegroom and the bride, they have henna on their palms to celebrate the wedding, and some clothing. Then we have the Berbers. They have the language, as I said, the three Berbers, Tashlhit, Tarifid, and Tamazight, and the artwork, the craft, the festivals, the cooking, architecture, dress, marriage, custom styles of communication, which was brought. And then the Arabs brought the language. And the Moroccan is a cocktail, is a melting pot of French, English, Spanish, American, Berbers, everything. This is what we call the Moroccan Arabic. So the Moroccan Arabic is all these diversity, and we are very delighted and very happy to have this variety, because we say variety is the spice of life. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we are going to talk about intercultural communication. We have a quiz on intercultural communication, and we are going to test your competence at Kahoot. Esmeralda, can you open the Kahoot? Gürkan, maybe you can ask the question, and then Esmeralda, can you explain how we play the Kahoot, and you can share the link at the
can you just give me access to share screen, because the participants need to see the questions on the screen?
I think
I cannot share for now.
Yes, Wadi or organizer, can
Whoever is the host.
Host is yes, they are going to give. Wadi?
So Yeah, meanwhile, I can explain. Maybe some of you are already familiar. There will be a code shared in the screen. You have to go to kahoot.it. I will send you the link. And there you'll, once you access this link, you'll have to enter the code that will be shown on the screen that I will share now. And you are in the game. After, we will start displaying the questions, and you'll have to answer according to the alternatives that will be visible on your phone. So let me just send the Kahoot.
Can we also play in from the computer, or it must be on the phone?
I haven't tried from computer so far.
Because I think we have to download an application for that.
No, I think you have on your phone.
No need. I will share now the. There is no need for application. You just go the. I'm sharing now the
code, or
so there is no need for
You can
application.
open
You just
Kahoot
access
in your mobile, in internet.
Esmeralda, can you share the screen or not yet?
Yes, I will now.
Okay. And
okay,
also
coded.
yes.
Okay. We can also play from the URL. No problem.
Yes. Direkt.
Sorry, do we have the game code?
I'm sharing now. So here is the game code 3810430. You can see it. Can everyone see the screen, right?
Yes.
Let's wait until everyone is in. Gürkan Bey, are you going to read the questions and follow the...
Or you can proceed.
Okay.
You can proceed, Esmeralda, if you like, please. It's better.
Tamam, okay. But Necdet Bey, you can also make some comments on the questions, because some of the questions were prepared by you. So if you can give some comments and feedback on each question for more information.
Yes, we will do that.
Yeah, thank you. I think there are more people to join.
There is someone who entered as a nickname with the game pin, so maybe he wants to change it.
Who is that?
I don't know. Maybe we can check from the...
I think it's me, because I tried to put the game pin in. Oh no, it's kicked me out again.
Okay. No problem.
I think I took you out, but you can enter with the name, with your name now, please.
Hold on, I've got to re-enter everything. He didn't let me in before. Right, done. Should be there now.
Yes, it's there, Alison. Yeah.
Thank you.
Necdet Bey, could you please also enter the code? We better answer together.
But Necdet Bey will win then, because he knows the answers.
Gürkan Bey, I know I know the answer of the question. That's why if I reply, it can be
not fair.
Okay. Okay, Esmeralda, you can start.
So everyone is in. We start.
Yes, I am in also.
Okay, I'm starting. So, first question. The cultural communication topic. Oh, I think you cannot see the screen. Which of the following is considered poor etiquette in Japan? Offering a gift with two hands, placing your chopstick upright. Okay. But what does this mean? So nobody answered.
No,
I
because
think there's some seconds for every answer, so we have to.
Yes, 20.
There,
20.
no, for this there were 10 seconds, so nobody replied. Okay, we can continue with the next one.
Esmeralda, we better read the question, but we have to select the answer as soon as possible without missing the time. We
Yes.
don't need to wait until the time passes because it's very fast, yeah? 10
Yeah.
seconds.
Actually, the other ones are 20 seconds. This the first two are 10 seconds because there are short questions. That's why I put 10 seconds, but the others will have more time. Okay, the next one. Which color should you avoid wearing in Brazil? Purple, red, yellow. So it's purple. Why is that, Necdet Bey?
Purple is dangerous in Brazil. That's why they don't want to wearing red.
Okay, so you might have, you might be attacked if you wear a purple color in Brazil, apparently. Okay.
Or the, you know, the body.
Can you say pin again because the Kahoot start?
Maybe you can write. We can
Yes,
write the
please
chat.
write in chat.
Yeah, okay, we will write chat.
So to share again the
Pin. I am sharing, Esmeralda.
Okay, if you have it, please.
Okay, I shared the pin. Johanna has.
Joanna is
the winner.
leading. Yeah. So do we continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. In India, what do vegetarian Hindus typically eat? So the alternatives are as below.
I can't even read it.
Meat, fish, seafood, eggs on dairy products, meat, fish, seafood, and eggs, meat, fish, and seafood.
I can't see this. I can't see the screen and play Kahoots because I can't get them all on my screen. I should have just joined on the phone, but because I'm using my laptop, the link took me through on.
Maybe, Alizin, you can reach with the mobile. It is better because at the same time you cannot use computer with Zoom, and we are using mobile. That's why it is easy for us.
On laptop, it's also very visible, Alison.
I'm just going to put up onto my mobile because I can't. I have to reduce the screen size so that I can see both.
Yeah.
Which means that I then can't really see the questions. So
maybe we can read the question. Esmeralda, we will read the question.
Yes, I can read. Are you joining again from phone, Alison, or you continue with the computer?
I'm going to try and get on via phone. So just carry on. Ignore me. I'll put myself out and then you carry on.
Okay.
Some answers are short, but some of them are quite long. Depends if you can really read all of them, Esmeralda, on time, but please continue.
I will read. Okay, Joanna continues the first. Okay, the next one. In which country the number 4 is considered unlucky? China, Mexico, Iran.
Mr. Gürkan, you are going to explain this question. What is the meaning of 4 in China?
Actually, there are no 4th floors in China.
Why?
After you gave the answer, but
I think 4 means in China is death.
Yes, it has a very bad meaning in their culture, and there isn't even 4th floor at the buildings. So it's very interesting. And in many other examples, they really refrain to use floor.
Okay, let's
So
proceed.
their lucky number is never 4, for instance, as we never had thought about it for ourselves.
Okay, you mean
Maybe we have other numbers in our cultures, like 13 or 0 or whatever.
Yeah.
What is unlucky for us, it differs from
13.
country to country.
In Turkey, it is 13. You mean unlucky number?
Yes, also in Portugal.
13.
Yes.
But why? Why is it not welcome?
Actually, I don't know exactly what does it means.
I think it's the devil sign, the number
Devil.
of a devil.
Okay. Okay, let's.
So sometimes we really use it, me included, without knowing the real meaning behind. And we just got used to do that. And then when it is that number, we say, we refrain, oh, today, the 13th of the month, so let's think about that. Or I better not to take this seat number 13 to sit, or okay, I better take 14 pieces instead of 13 pieces of this, whatever I wanted. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, this is a kind of cultural difference, let's say, in terms of unlucky numbers all around the world.
Okay, let's
Thank
go.
you. Who is Ajidash?
She's there.
Patricia, the second. Begin. Okay, we move on. In which country does nudging the head up and down means no rather than yes? This is a nightmare. I know this because sometimes we also use the same in Albania.
In Turkey also we use.
But I don't understand why people get it wrong, because you can understand from the face expression. Even if we make like this or like this, we can understand each other what we mean. So it's in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, Patricia again.
Patricia is moving up. Which country has the most time zones? Russia, China, or France? Actually, no. Sorry, this is a mistake.
Yes, France.
I have clicked by mistake the correct answer, China, but the correct one is France.
Yes.
And not because you want to explain yesterday?
In France, as I know, there are many time zones. In China, there are only one time zone. Gürkan, is it true? Yes, in France, many time zones, in fact. France
because
is
they
correct.
have territories in other, not only in the territory
yes.
of France. That's why, but I had clicked it by mistake. I'm so sorry. But anyways, the ones who clicked China got the points in this case.
Okay.
Patricia is on fire.
Yeah. Okay.
Which of the following is not one of the 5 pillars of the Islamic religion? Puja, Hajj, or Ramadan?
Okay, this is I think Indian habit, not Islamic. That's why the answer is puja.
Yeah. Ramadan is the holy month of Ramadan, when the Muslims are fasting and going for Hajj in Mecca. It's okay. The next one. What is the Chinese term used to describe the concept of having a network of reciprocal relationships? Kege, Mianzi, Guanzi. I think Gurkan Bey has to make some comments on this.
I have forgotten speaking Chinese, so please don't throw the ball on me.
Okay.
And I'm not answering. Yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, people knew it. I don't know if it was by coincidence. Necdet Bey, your comment?
Because of the writing of kanji, it's Chinese sound. That's why people knows.
Huh.
Yes,
Okay.
the sound.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the next one. Which of the following would you not offer as a gift to a Chinese business partner? A clock, a pen, a bottle of wine?
Mr. Gürkan, you know the meaning of this question, I think. You can remember. As I know, you stayed 3 years in China.
Yes.
The correct answer is clock. Why?
Not a pen, not a bottle of wine. That's why.
No, in business meeting, clocks mean time is up. That's why it's a bad thing for business meeting. That's why they don't give a gift as a clock to other people.
It is not easy to tackle with Chinese business people culture if you really do want to do import and export activities, because it's rather difficult to come to the same point while doing and getting to mutually understand each other. If you ask something, they say everything yes, but they bring absolutely totally different issue up later on. Maybe that's why.
Okay, the winner is still Patricia.
Necdet Bey, yeah, I've been asked what will be the prize, the award of the winner.
We are going to invite in Turkey for holiday.
No, okay.
Okay, we are going to give a badge to them.
The next one. What is Jewish New Year commonly known as? Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Hanukkah. I also didn't know. I learned it when I did.
Yes, this is New Year, Jewish.
And when it's celebrated, do you know?
I don't know exactly.
Okay, the next one. You are managing a local team in China. How do you cope with if nobody? How do you cope with the fact that nobody in the team makes eye contact with you? You are worried that the team don't trust or respect you, not concerned as eye contact is not expected between managers and the team in China, or it's because of language barriers? So you are managing a team in China, and there is a lack of eye contact with you and the team. So what is your concern about? So yeah, the correct one is that you are not concerned as the eye contact is not expected between manager and the team. And as I read, the frequent eye contact between the manager and the rest of the team, it seems is considered as inappropriate, right, Necdet Bey?
Yes, that's true.
So yeah, you see, actually in our culture it's the opposite. If you don't see the eye in the eyes, we even have an expression saying, "Look me in the eye when I speak," because otherwise, it's disrespectful. What piece of advice would you give to a colleague embarking to their professional international assignment? Be yourself and remain true to your own values and principles. Be aware to the new environment and be ready to adapt your usual style. You'll only understand how people operate if you speak if you speak their language. So yeah, sometimes we have to adapt without losing our own values, but anyways we have to be tolerant and to adapt to the new environment, let's say. Okay, Patricia remains the first, quite detached from the others. You work in a firm in Dubai. In the first meeting with the team member, one of the team members leaves the room without saying anything. What do you do? Immediately follow them to find out exactly what they are doing. Try to understand what might have caused them to leave the meeting. Ask the rest of the team what they think the problem it is going on. Let's say. So yeah. Try to understand what might have caused them to leave the meeting, and of course not to push things, because maybe it was something, I don't know, it could be something related to their personal issue or some other issues related that, I mean, anyways, we have to understand and not just run after them, let's say. And the next one, in communication with the new members who do not speak your language as their first language, what is the best strategy? Speak more slowly and loudly than usually to avoid any misunderstanding, or speak naturally but avoid using colloquial language? So yeah, there is no need to shout when speaking. It's because anyways, if people do not understand the language, either if you speak louder, they will not understand. So the best way is to speak naturally and the simplest way possible, by not using much idioms, let's say, or a colloquial language, so that people who are not much familiar with your language can understand it. What do you understand by ethnocentrism? Operating in an environment when everyone is from the same culture, or judging the other cultures by the values and standards of your own culture? We mentioned this in the previous week. So yeah, it's judging the other cultures by the values and standards of your culture. Okay. You are preparing for the launch of a meeting with a new international project team. How are you planning to run the meeting? Setting clear objectives and a detailed plan about how the team will work, brainstorm with the team on how they would like to work together, or ask team members to prepare short presentation about their own experiences. So yeah, the best way is to brainstorm with the group together how they would like to work, and to set the common ground rules, rather than you just dictating the rules and objectives of how the things will work. Humor across cultures is better to be avoided, as some cultures have different sense of humor. It's a great way to break the ice on cultural aspect that can be misunderstood. Can be only used if you share the same language, otherwise has no grace. So yeah, we believe that it's the best way, or one of the ways, let's say, to break the ice. Even though I agree with the last alternative as well, that sometimes some jokes they have sense only in the language that they are spoken, like, let's say, because when you translate them they have no grace anymore. But yeah, it's a good way to break the ice with people from other countries that you might have cultural differences, let's say. You notice a relaxed attitude during a field visit in Latin America. When do you aim to arrive at your meeting? A few minutes ahead of the scheduled time, as you usually would do at home? Within 5 to 10 minutes after the scheduled time? 30 minutes late, as you have experienced the same when clients have visited you? So yeah, the best and this is actually also my personal preference, like better you keep keep being the same as you are, like being on time and punctual despite of how the others would behave, let's say. Patricia continues the first. While delivering a training to Japanese students, you notice that most of them have their eyes closed. How do you see this? They are concentrating and listening hard. They are suffering from jet lag and struggling to stay awake. They have disengaged from your session. So yeah, in other cultures, this would seem like people are not paying much attention, but it seems like in the Japanese culture, they tend to do so when they are really concentrated in what they are listening in the session in this case. And this was the last question. Let's see the podium. So next that. Miriam is the second, and drum roll for
Patricia. Look.
You got 13 out of 19, and then the fourth is Alison, and Ajash on the fifth. So thank you very much for playing, and I leave the floor to Nejde Bey and Gürkan Bey. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Esmeralda.
I'm sharing this.
Yeah, okay.
Screen. Okay.
Thanks for participating, and Patricia is the winner. And Patricia, we need a speech from you for winner speech, please. It is your turn.
Well, I don't know. This is something that I didn't have prepared before. Actually, this quiz was really interested to know a bit more about some cultures, because actually some of the questions I already knew just because I'm really interested to Japanese and Chinese culture. But the rest I didn't know. I even find out some like the New Year for the Jews, or also which is one of the pillars of the Islam, because I didn't know, even if I was living in Turkey, but I didn't know. So yes, I really enjoyed with the quiz. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed, and actually I would love to hear one question like this that we didn't put there from your own cultures that might be interesting to include to our Kahoot question list. If you might do that on chat, please. You can just if that comes to your mind. It's not an obligatory issue, of course, but while I was following the questions, one issue came to my mind, for instance, to share with you, which is not existing there. So please feel free to add question with 3 answers, or just with 1 answer, because correct answer that we can add other 2 false answers, doesn't matter from our side, will be really appreciated. Yeah, Mr. Nejda.
Okay, let's make a break. We need reflection. I think this is 10 minutes later. We are going to meet for the new session. Let's make a break. It is, I think, in here is 6 o'clock. After 10 minutes, we are going to meet. Okay? See you. Enjoy.
Good evening. Could I ask a question about the time of the beginning of the training? Can anyone hear me?
Hi, I hear
Yes.
you.
Oh, sorry. Yes, please.
Yes. Hello, Niven. Hello.
Hello, yeah. Hello, Jurat. I think we have understanding. I don't understand what is about the time. We have many emails, so I doubt now when we will begin. Nobody's here to reply us.
Hello.
Hello.
We have already started, and now we are in the break, and 3 minutes left. It was just 10 minutes break.
Start when?
1 hour ago we have started.
No.
Because
Why?
it's at 6 o'clock. It was
Why
at
do
6
you
o'clock.
do so? Because we all received information that we start at 4.
Yeah.
4 means now, 7 minutes ago.
Why 1 hour early? And what is the interruption?
Can you explain, please?
Yes, in fact, Wadi organized this meeting with 4 o'clock with CAT time. It means 5 o'clock in Turkish time. So, time zone has been changed this week. In Turkey, we didn't change the time. That's why, in fact, last week it was 4 o'clock. But this week, because of the time zone changing, it starts at 5 o'clock, but confusing because of them, we started 1 hour ago. We sent an email to everybody. We are going to start at 6 o'clock with Turkish time. So it is a cultural shock for everybody because of time changing. At the last week of the March, always in Europe and in many countries getting the summertime. So many countries as Egypt, as Morocco, etc., they don't change the time.
Yeah, okay, doctor, but we need in the future to have more information more earlier. Now we have missed already a first part from the session. We are care very much about all information. So hopefully in the future, you can, all of you, send us the time early and confirm on the time. And already we have a schedule in our work, in our home, some things like that. By the way, I just arrived my home now and opened for the session.
Yes, Niven, we were another meeting. What he called us, meeting had to start. We realized this thing in 1 hour. That's why it is last minute exchange. That is why, in fact, the organizer should be organize this thing. But because of time changing, many people has this confusing system. That's why we postponed 1 hour for ahead to continue. Sorry about it, but in fact, we are having the recorded of meeting, and also what we will share with you. Sorry about it, but many of people had confused about the time changing, but we suddenly realized that things. That's why we cannot send email, etc. before 1 day, 2 days.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
I don't know, Francis. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. In fact,
and now it's time to start again because 10 minutes break is over.
Okay, we started to make a wrap up from last week or training. Many of participants make a small summary about last week's session and their expectation of this meeting. And first part, our colleague from Morocco prepared a mining map about Moroccan culture. He presented his mining map. I made a small summary about last week's presentation. The second part of our presentation made a Kahoot quiz on intercultural issues. So now we are the second part of our training. In fact, we are organizing 4 rooms. We asked a question on chat. Maybe we can share again our question for 4 rooms. And I am going to again sharing the question to everybody. We are going to organize 4 groups, group A, B, C, D, and then we are going to discuss about the question, and then each group will going to present their result about their discussion. Gürkan Bey, what are we going to add for this?
Yes, first, please proceed with your presentation, which is remaining. And then after that, if these breakout rooms can be allocated, we can do these discussions in the groups. Otherwise, we are going to do it all together.
Okay, Esmeralda, can you ask the organizer? There are, the underneath logo, participant. Can you ask them how can we organize the breakout room? In my screen, I cannot see breakout.
I cannot hear you. I don't know if it's my problem or
This is your problem.
you are frozen.
Gürkan Bey, can you see
Yes,
me?
I can hear you very well. And I have already shared this with Patricia, and the answer is only host can do it. So host should give us 4 breakout rooms.
Okay, host, please give us for organizing breakout rooms. Wadi and people from Morocco.
So there are 4 groups. There are 18 participants.
Yes.
Be 4 in 4 participants per group.
Yes.
Please have in mind that those who were not participating for the first hour, we know nothing about the discussion questions.
In fact, we didn't have any question. First session, we made a summary about last week presentation, and we played a game, Kahoot, about intercultural issues. That was all. So you didn't miss anything from first session, and we asked the question for here. Now breakout room is here. Yes.
Mr. Nejat, can you please share on chat the quiz questions and answers that you have one Word folder, Word form document. So it will be good for the ones who missed this Kahoot part. So it can be good to see and have a look at that.
Okay, I organized a room, 4 rooms. The computer organizes automatically, and maybe you can join that room. The question, you can see the question at chat, and then please answer the question at your discussion. You are going to have 10 minutes. After that, we are going to meet again for main room to make your presentation. See you.
No,
in
sorry,
10 minutes.
Sorry, just one thing. My colleague Joanna, she is in the waiting room. Can you add this to this meeting, please?
Okay.
Because she
sure.
needs to leave and she wants to come back. Thank you.
Okay. Gürkan Bey.
He left.
We are
No,
Esmeralda.
we
are
will
the
be
same
here.
room. We are main room or room 1?
Yeah, we are main room. We can stay in main room.
You should go to your room, Esmeralda.
I don't have room. I will not go to rooms. I am in the lobby.
Okay, you should organize your room again. Where is it? But in fact,
So everyone joined in the groups.
yes.
Okay, so only us, only the manager.
The host.
Here.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
We can stay here.
Okay, we can make chat. In fact, Esmeralda, we ask question. I think there are only 3 groups.
No, there are 4 groups.
4 groups, you mean? Really?
Yes, 4
Okay.
rooms. I see here 4 rooms.
Okay, okay. Where you can see the room?
Yeah, I have them here in front of me.
Okay. How can I see the room? Ah, okay. Record. Yes, yes. We can visit the room. Yes. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There are. Okay. That's good. Okay.
I think everyone.
Maybe Esmeralda, you can look the rooms, and if what's going on there, an agency.
But you know, when we went to the train station, when we were coming back, the police stopped us and wanted to check our passports, but it was very late, and
yeah,
they were asking passports, and I was asking many questions to the police. The others are not saying anything. I was just, who are you? And he showed me even this police, okay, and then I was asking other questions, and he said, sen istihbaratçı mısın?
Really?
I said,
Really?
yeah. I said, bilmem.
Okay, that's good. Now you are istihbaratçı. What's going on? I'm going to rooms. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Move to...
Yes, we are here. Hi, Patricia.
Hi again.
Hi, Mario. Yeah.
Hi.
So you came to main room. It means you have finished the.
Yes.
Okay, you are very fast.
We are ready. We are ready.
Yeah.
The girl is all the time.
Yes.
Get ready. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Niran, in fact, we have many slides for presentation, but for being interactive, we organized this kind of room. Last, training, we present our presentation, and people ask from us to organize discussion. So we ask the question, and we put people for a breakout room.
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah, it's a great work. Yani, facilitate each other to close more closer together and have a conversation, specific conversation. And by the way, we know our countries and some things like that. Yani, and by the name, it's a great. Yani, thank you for that very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, we always organize non-formal education.
Yeah.
But in this education or training, we are making mix some
yes, formal and informal.
Yeah.
I saw
that. At the first part, we had a question quiz.
Yeah.
And the winner is here.
Yes.
Patricia had the prize.
Yeah.
So there were around 19 questions about different culture and different habits. We were asking, for example, what is the unlucky number in Egypt?
Oh,
what
unlucky number.
13,
In Turkey? In Egypt, you want to know? You want to know in Egypt?
In Egypt.
In Egypt, 13. It's unlucky one. Yeah.
Yes, we have the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Spain the same. In Spain is also 13.
So
wow.
it means we are Mediterranean.
Yeah, it's like Friday 13. Wow.
Yes.
Famous movie.
Yes.
We have a Tuesday. 13 Tuesday is the worst day in the world.
Yes.
Thursday, yes. We are the same. Thursday. Thursday, it's the worst day in the week. It's a bad luck. Oh my God, give me a better Thursday each morning.
Usually, when you are on 13, Tuesday 13, you cannot get married and you cannot travel. Because if you do some of those things, something is going to be very, very bad for you. So better try to avoid as much as possible to get married and to travel.
Stay at home. Stay
at home.
Yes. Niran, there is one number in China.
Yeah.
This is 4. This is unlucky number.
Oh, yeah.
In China, the house or floor start 1, 2, 3, 5.
Without 4.
Yes.
Jump.
But Chinese people believe 4 meaning is that. That's why they don't live in that floor.
Yeah, with a ghost. Haunted folk.
Yes,
you know, when you are 15 in Spain, your birthday, if you are being 15 this year, many people don't celebrate it because 6 is the number of the demon. So 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. So usually people never celebrate 15-year-old in Spain.
Yes.
Different culture has different habits.
Yes,
in Mediterranean area, we want to touch each other.
Yeah.
Last week we have spoken on Indian culture. They say namaste. But
namaste. I remember
it. In Corona time, we learned to say namaste. because during the corona,
to be safe, to keeping safe.
Yes, or we say
it's enough.
that's
It's enough. Here in Egypt, by the way, we make it like that. We don't hand it.
Yeah, we have like this,
like that. Yeah, like
we with
like
the elbows.
Yeah, elbows is better.
Something. Yeah.
Elbows in Turkish we have. You are collaborating with the others. You are getting more power with elbows by elbows.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I had vaccine yesterday.
Wow, really? It's
Yes,
the
yes.
first.
Yes, first dose.
Yeah. What did you feel after that?
No, nothing. Just to drive my car. That's all.
Nothing inside infection or something.
No,
It's
no, no.
okay with you?
Yeah. In Turkey, they started from elder people, and now they are making for official people in the government sector.
Yes.
That's why they organized me a vaccine. But this vaccine was from China.
Yeah, you're from China. In Egypt also, we get the vaccine from China. It's Chinese. Yeah.
Yes. And also we have vaccine from Germany, BioNTech.
Yeah.
And we will have from Russia. Nowadays, you can choose. You can select which one is your choice. Yes.
Yeah.
But I selected Chinese because this is one old way. You know, they put very small virus to your body, and your body is getting more power against the virus. So the rest is very modern vaccine. That's why we don't know what will happen in 10 years.
Yes.
So that's why I selected Chinese.
I am little worried about the vaccine. They are open to make requests for all people. Until now, I didn't feel anything. I am little worried about it. Yani, transportation, you get the vaccine to Egypt. Yani, I'm little worried. Till now, I don't make my application. I am afraid.
Wait, the jet disappeared.
Yeah. I think the connection is cut. He's not here, or maybe go to some room to check out. Yeah, the participation. But it's very nice to speak with you, Patricia. You are very nice.
Wow, I really would like to go to Egypt. Actually, this year by September, I remember. Maybe yes, by September I would have the opportunity, but I'm not completely sure right now because coronavirus. But yes, but Egypt is one of the countries that I would like to visit.
Yeah.
Like by the next year. If this year I cannot, I would like to go the next year.
Do you visit Egypt?
No, I would like to visit.
Yes, you come to Egypt to celebrate with you. Yes, after Corona, hopefully. But now, by the way, in Hurghada, many tourist places. We have a tourism from outside, from Russia. I think Germany. Some Germans here already. We have a little movement in our tourism sector now. Hurghada, Red Sea. I don't know what about Italy. Do you open the travel to many countries yet, or what?
What about Italy? I don't know. I can tell you about Spain.
Yeah.
And in Spain, for the moment, we cannot travel inside of the country. Me as a Spanish, I cannot go to another place in Spain, but the people from outside, foreigners, can come to my country. And as far as I know, I'm not completely sure, but I think they can go to the police and they can ask for an special permission, and they can travel inside of the country wherever they want. But I'm not completely sure about that. But the Spanish people, we cannot move from our villages. If we want to go to the next to the city next to us, it's completely impossible.
So yeah, surely they are afraid, and it's a dangerous situation at all now. And you don't
Yeah.
know what is the next step, what will happen. Yani. Ah, maybe it's getting better in a not far. Yani.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah, I hope so, because if not,
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah. Yes, it's enough. We can't travel to any other country. But here in Egypt, by the way, we can travel between governorates. We can follow up our work in another governorate. But out of Egypt, we stop all the travels till now. Yeah, we cannot do that. But we have a normal day at work. يعني everything goes normal every day.
Here also, here some people is still working from home, but the usual thing is that we are always working in our normal jobs.
Yeah, sure.
They are coming.
Yes. Hello.
So welcome all of you to main room. I visited your room. There was very strong and heavy discussion. Some room. It was great. Now, Gürkan Bey, you can say something about what happened to your room.
Actually, I have visited 4 rooms just shortly, and the first room was very nice, welcoming to me. The second was also, third was, all of them were very nice. But in one room, we had a discussion about of course, how to understand the question. What was that about? And Alison and I had a very long chat and discussion, and we found out what was that for. So Alison, me were very happy at the end of the day. At least we found what was asked about. So, but other rooms, in one room, I tried to explain again what did we want to mean. But sometimes it is also at intercultural or multicultural or supracultural. Sometimes I use supracultural. It is even different perception maybe in terms of intercultural citizenship education. It's not easy to understand sometimes those questions: how much, what, and what for, pointing. I hope, but it was very nice. The first group, when I went back again, the nice thing was they had already finished the discussion and they had solved everything. So there were 3 very good, let's say, versions of the maybe approach to the question. So I guess we can proceed now with the feedback from each group.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Gürkan. And we can start Group A. The question was, what can be mentioned as cultural representations in interpersonal relationship, and how can multiculturalism, interculturalism, and diversity be defined? Who is the representative or rapporteur of the Group A? Yes, we are waiting from Group A.
I think that means it's going to be me then.
Okay, you're welcome.
Arbitrary decision.
Okay, Group A,
Sorry,
please.
yeah, I struggled to understand the first part of the question until we had a conversation with Gürkan. And really what we wanted to understand was the effect of not understanding culture in interpersonal relationships between individuals. And lots of examples were talked through, particularly relevant when you think, Gürkan gave the example actually from last week, and I'll share that, around drinking tea. And one person said they didn't drink tea and everybody was really surprised. Now that could have been embarrassing for that person who'd said it, and we made them feel embarrassed by being surprised, but within their culture it probably isn't traditional to have tea. Gürkan did talk about having tea in Britain at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, but that's certainly something I don't do, and I don't like normal tea. I like coffee. So the underpinning thing is you don't know what somebody's culture is until you start to communicate and understand And we might inadvertently say something that upsets them because we didn't understand that. And they're the issues for interpersonal relationships, where we do things unintentionally because we weren't aware of somebody else's culture. And then in terms of explaining multiculturalism, interculturalism, and diversity, multiculturalism is a number of cultures existing within a same space, but not necessarily coming together. And they can coexist in a space, but they might not interact. Interculturalism, on the other hand, is literally an interaction between different cultures where there is coming together and understanding and mutual respect. Not that respect wouldn't exist in a multicultural society, but it's more likely to be more effective when there's interculturalism, where there's a real effort to understand and enjoy and embrace other people's cultures. And diversity can be even more nuanced, particularly for us here in the UK, because it becomes more not just about broad kind of groups, but individuals as well. And then it comes into play around things like age, ability or disability, your gender, your race or ethnicity, your sexuality, your religion or your belief. So diversity can be much more detailed, and there are intersectional points across all of that spectrum, and of which culture plays a part.
Okay, thank you very much, Alison.
May I ask one question to Alison? Alison, so we have been dealing with Erasmus Plus program, and one of the very enlightened slogan was unity in diversity. Mm-hmm. What do we understand from this unity in terms of your definition?
So in terms of the definition, unity and diversity means we can come together even though we are not the same. So it's, again, it's understanding, taking the understanding that we have around culture and its importance, we do that with diversity as well. That it's really important to respect, understand people's different perspectives and lived experiences, whatever they may be. And in
thank
doing
you very
so,
much.
Creates unity.
Yes, that really reminded in my mind as well what Jean Monnet said. Very nice sentence. We are not bringing countries, we are bringing people. So this was also underlined in Sufi philosophy with the message, come, whoever you are, this or that. So thank you.
Come, whatever you, come. Okay. So group B question was mention some practice of citizenship in multicultural societies. And second was at the heart of intercultural mediation. How can be pursued conflict resolution? Who is the representative of group B?
That was me.
Yes.
Yeah,
come on.
Please.
Hi, everyone. So yes, we were discussing the question for group B, and we needed a couple of minutes to kind of break down the question and see what it actually means. There was a bit of confusion in terms of, you know, how do we practice citizenship? And then also, what did the second part of the question mean? But we broke it down, and I gave the example of in schools when we teach children or students to become citizens of the school that they're in, of the organization, and then of the wider world around them. So that was our first example. And then when we talked about conflict resolution, we had quite a big discussion then, and it was quite intense, and we finished very early and we came straight back in. So I'll just go through what we covered in that short time. The first thing that came up was about discussion. So when you have a conflict, of course, it's really important to discuss and hear both sides of what, you know, whatever the miscommunication is. And it often is miscommunication. It may be a language barrier, or it might be something a bit more difficult. So then you need to have respect on both sides. We said you need to be open-minded when you're listening to each other. Listening was really key. You know, when we're feeling emotional or angry, we don't want to hear what the other person is saying. So that was definitely an important one. And then also it moved on to intention then. What's the intention in the conflict? Is it that you have to be right? Is it that you have to be the one talking? Or is it that you want to actually fix whatever problem it is that you're having? We also said you need to find similarities and common ground. That's, you know, what Alison was saying earlier about unity and bringing people together. And then we also said it's about caring about both parties. You know, you have to care about each other in order to have a resolution. You might find your mutual interests and that desire to find a solution in whatever it is that you're discussing. So that came back to sort of having shared values. And I'm jumping between different ideas because that's how our kind of conversation was moving. It's like when we said one idea, lots of other things came up. So I think Niven said about needing to have a free and open space and giving each other what they need in that space. And then I said, and Patricia and I were discussing as well about maybe collaboration. So maybe it's not about your culture is right or mine is right or, you know, whatever, but maybe it's more about designing a new reality. And most importantly, having a sense of humor.
Okay, Miriam, thank you very much. Are there any questions for Group B, or are there any support of their discussion? Any reflection? Are there? No. Okay, Group C, the question was, what is intercultural communication in a social educational environment, and how is the discrimination linked with racial and religious or ethical origin? Who is the representative of the Group C? Group C? Alena, please.
We're here, but we didn't decide on who was going to speak.
Yeah, no problem, Roy.
Okay. Okay, who is Roy or Alena?
No, it's not me. No, it's got to be Elena.
Okay, make a selection. Alena, maybe you can make a summary.
Okay, the point of our view is like also the Roy is a teacher on the university that I understood, and he has like lots of Chinese students. That's what I understood, and because of that, also the educational environment is is so different way, and we basically come up the idea about the don't see the differences. It's also came for the tolerance that you respect the other rights. I think if I'm mistaken, please just make me right. Okay, thank you. And also the discrimination linked to racial and religious and the ethnic origin depends on the religion we came, and it's actually not a discrimination we said, and it's just actually a link for the others. It's like it's come up the idea about the making is actually a group. It's not to discriminate the people. It's about gathering people together. About we said it's so actually the point actually we got. It's so typical of the Group B point view actually. Let's say.
Okay, Roy, are you want to adding anything?
Not really, no. I suppose personally I got a bit confused with the question itself and was looking at the problems of language rather than just communication, especially coming from certainly a mixed ethnic school myself when I was young. And the problems dealing with in a university environment, the problems are more around supporting the students from other groups, and particularly when you can have such a wide range of different ethnic backgrounds, and again within schools. I mean, it's not unknown for schools in the UK to have 10 plus different languages in a classroom, and the differences of religion and everything else that goes with that. So there are big issues, but it comes back to having I think, a flexible, changing curriculum. And we have to address that very much so in this country.
Okay, thank you for your support, Roy. The last group is Group D. The question was, are there any differences between intercultural mediation and education? The second question was, what is the practice of citizenship in multicultural societies? I think Esmeralda, you are the representative of Group D.
Yes.
Esmeralda, you know, as you see, she's supporting us in many times. Now she's bravo, Esmeralda.
Thank you, thank you. I just will put a disclaimer that we didn't have time to discuss the second question. I will just debrief what we mentioned about the difference between intercultural mediation and intercultural education. So the main aspects that say that distinguish these two concepts is that intercultural mediation is usually mostly referring to the process of building, let's say, bridges of communication between cultures, and usually there is a mediator or a facilitator, a neutral facilitator that acts as acts in this role, let's say, perform this role, and it's a process to establish this communication between cultures, but also people from different cultures. And we can mention the examples of migrants and refugees. There are specific companies, let's say, that offer intercultural mediation in order to help them to adapt with the new culture where they are hosted, let's say, or they are living in. And this includes adaptation in the values, social norms, or other cultural aspects of the hosting community, but also, let's say, overcoming language barriers. While the other concept was intercultural education. Yes, intercultural education is mostly making people aware or even teaching them about the differences between cultures, and ensuring a tolerance and respect between culture. Jurate also mentioned that in this regard, respect is very important when we talk about intercultural education and communication between cultures, because we can have our own understanding and our values of our culture that we that we represent and that we defend, let's say, but we have to take in consideration when we are in interaction with people from other cultures. And the example that she mentioned is, for example, if she's Christian and she goes to Morocco and she has to enter in a church or mosque, she has to respect the rules that are being displayed there, let's say, in order to avoid any conflict with or prevent any conflict with the locals, let's say. And also she mentioned the expression that when in Rome, act as in Rome. So it's much to be emphasized, the fact that we have to understand and be respectful toward other cultures, despite of what our own culture indicates, let's say. About the second question, we didn't have much time to discuss it. And what was it? I missed it. If I can.
What is the practice of citizenship in multicultural societies? The question was.
Yeah. Well, we know that citizenship, it's especially active citizenship, is engaging the citizens or members of the society actively in to take an active role in many spheres of life. Could be in economic, political, or social life. And in my perception, if we have multicultural society, there is twice the need, let's say, needed the fact that people have to be more aware of the diversity and to be considered as an asset in the modern society, multicultural society, in order to have a harmonious coexistence, let's say, between people from different backgrounds and different cultures. Thank you. That's
Okay,
it.
Esmeralda, thank you very much. As you see, communication, language, intercultural learning, education is very important. I want to ask a question. What is the meaning of U-turn? What do you think? In different countries, U-turn, what you mean, what they understand. For example, in Dubai, I was in a car, I said U-turn, he turned me. But in fact, in traffic, U-turn mean you are turning. So communication is very important. These issues, we can understand each other, what we say, we should explain, and we should respect each other. So I think you can, this is the break time.
Yes, and then we have one more session to go. I guess there will be 10 more minutes to have this break. And then
Yes.
after 10 minutes, this is also a virtual break. And
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy all what you are having, tea, coffee, soup, or any sweet and dessert, whatever. And then let's see again, let's meet together at 10 past your time.
Yes.
I mean, it's 8 here, whatever is there, 7 or 6.
7, yes, 7 in Europe, 6 in UK.
Yes.
Okay, see you.
See you. Hocam,
Yes, sir.
what's up?
Okay. Yes, sir. We are going to make a very short presentation, then we will make discussion, and then we will stop. Yes, Gürkan Bey.
We can start, Mr. Salam.
Okay, this is the third part of training. We are going to present some slides to make a summary about our training, and then we will organize again discussion in main room. Maybe we can start with definition of the intercultural communication. Intercultural communication is a discipline that studies communication across different cultures and social groups, or how culture affect communication. It describes the right of communication process and problem that naturally appear within an organizational social context made up of individuals from different religious, social, ethnic and educational background. In this context, maybe we can say identity and culture are also studied within the discipline of communication to analyze how globalization influences way of thinking, beliefs, values, and identity with and between cultural environments. Intercultural communication scholars approach theory with a dynamic outlook and do not believe culture can be measured or not. Cultures share universal aptitudes. In factor successful cross-cultural communication, we should ask this question: how are behavior and expectation affected by cultural background? What factor associated with transnational make adapted to cultural differences difficult? As we talk about the iceberg model for the culture, over the sea, we can see language, clothes, behavior, habits. Under the sea, we see beliefs, rules, perception, etc. As we share or we compare culture, you know, under the seas, there are values, norms, and expectation for affecting each other. Group A, Group B, it affects the behavior. So this is a picture of different food in different culture. It could be mean maybe spices, etc. Different taste. You can see different drink, different food, different things. So if we are traveling other side, if we move to another country, we can see many cultural shock. For example, cultural shock is an experience a person may have when one moves to cultural environment which is different from one's own. It is also personal disorientation a person may feel when expecting on unfair or way of life due to immigration or a visit to a new country, a move between social environment or simply a tradition to another life. In this perspective, maybe we can say one of the most common cause of culture shock involves individual in a foreign environment. Cultural shock can be described as consisting of at least one four-district phase: honeymoon, negotiation, adjustment, and adaptation. You can see here stage of cultural shock, honeymoon, and uncertainty doubled, adaptation and acceptance. At the beginning and the middle of the stage, at the end of stage. So supporting the cultural transition means understanding, preparing for relevant stressor. In fact, there are many stress factors during the, for example, a student went to another country for education, they are homesick, changing of the family system, loss of identity. There are many things it affects and it is getting stress for people. And nowadays we are lucky with the social media and communication. So we can use this communication for not to have more stress. We cannot detrust, adapt to other culture. Stressor, there are some question chart. Do I see a problem? No, no stress reaction. Yes, can I cope with this problem? No, no stress reaction. Yes, no, or minimize stress reaction. In fact, for the expectation from the school, from the families, from the other things, from the image, from different habit. It affects the people, different culture. Common symptom of the cultural shock, for example, being homesick, disturbed sleep patterns, or poor time management. These kind of things affect people who lives away from their culture, from their country. There are many things for symptoms, these kind of things. Now we are talking for multiculturalism, interculturalism, and diversity. In fact, multiculturalism is the coexistence of diverse cultures where cultures include radical religious or cultural groups and is manifest in customary behaviors, cultural assumption and values, patterns of thinking and communication styles. In multiculturalism, in fact, there are different things, for example, immigration, integrity, ethnicity, provocating, assimilation. This word is related many different words. For example, this picture was drawn by primary school children about interculturalism or multiculturalism. In fact, we should define what is multi. Multi means lots of. What is inter? Inter means within and between. If we are talking intercultural, we are talking about connection of different people, different culture, different community, etc. We are talking about multiculturalism and interculturalism. Interculturalism is affecting many people in different places. Gürkan Bey, maybe you can give some example for this matter, interculturalism and multiculturalism. Multiculturalism, in fact, rich of the culture. If we have multiculture, this is a value for us. But interculturalism is accepting the other culture, is it? What do you think about it? Question. Gürkan Bey?
No.
No? Ronnie Pons? Okay, let's continue. In this context, multiculturalism, cross-culturalism, and interculturalism means, in fact, for example, Canada's government has discretion to extent it wishes to apply integration policy within the multiculturalism. It could be any of the below arrows. You can see red here, lower integration, and interculturalism is, for example, in Quebec, you know, one part of Canada, they speak French. Quebec's government has discretion to the extent they wish to apply integration policy within interculturalism. On the right side, there are higher integration, and on the left side is the lower integration. With the lower integration, we are multiculturalism, and if we integrate the culture and if we accept the other culture, if we are respecting the other culture, it comes to interculturalism. Multiculturalism, socialist defined. In fact, multiculturalism, for example, ethnicity. If you are from different culture, let's say you are European, you are Asian, you are African, you are from Egypt, you are from Turkey, etc. Identity is another thing, formation and construction. Diversity means there are domestic and interculturalism. It is related with multiculturalism. Is multiculturalism good for Europe? In fact, there are many different things. For example, in different countries are celebrating multiculturalism. Multiculturalism is richness for us. For example, in Canada, they are celebrating multiculturalism day. You know, in different countries, there are Islamophobia, and also we say everybody belongs to here, means we accept different culture, different ethnical people, different places. Sometimes people organizing multicultural nights. Sometimes we are talking about multiculturalism in music. In music, in fact, different song, different music, getting richer to your culture. And for Eurovision, you know, they are celebrating diversity, and they are supporting different music in Eurovision. And also some countries organizing international festival of cultural diversity. And in this fact, we need to intercultural education. In fact, for teaching at primary school, secondary and high school, at university, if you have students from different countries, you should know their habits, their behavior, and you should respect their religion. For example, in Turkey, there are 5 million Syrian refugees living in Turkey. So, you know, in last 10 years, as I know, at least there are 1 million child born in Turkey. Turkish government had to organize education for Syrian people. The education was in Arabic and Turkish. So the secondary school, I think they are continuing in Turkish. At university and other education, they are continuing in Turkish. So multiculturalism is very important for education, and diversity is very important because multiculturalism is the key to achieving a high degree of cultural diversity. Diversity occurs when people of different races, nationalistic, religion, ethnical, and philosophical come together to form a community. Interculturality means there are many different pictures, different faces, different habits, different clothes, different thinking, different religion. We should respect to them. Interculturality is a political practice that goes for beyond accept and tolerate of their identities and culture. In fact, sometimes you have seen this picture when we are talking a country, sometimes we are drawing. This is the old picture, as you see, Finland wrote a Nokia. Let's say 15 years ago, it was very famous about drawing Nokia. For England is your mini car for behaving. For Africa, you can see black people over there. For Brazil, you can see football game and coffee there. Interculturality means different habit, different or your thinking, different values. In this perspective, mediation practice for resolving in this context conflict, and we should make a solution for the conflict, living in different culture, living in different ethnicity in the same country. There are many conflicts. You need to solve this problem. In fact, we shared you this presentation. You can check YouTube from intercultural mediation, and maybe you can think about this question. Gürkan Bey, maybe you can ask this question. Maybe we can make some interactivity I don't want to present all the slide. Okay, please, Gürkan Bey.
Actually, we have received one feedback from Miriam. Maybe she can give us more clear about the examples, why hideous are they?
Yes, please, Miriam.
So I'm just looking at the map of the world as we know it, and I can't say that I agree.
This one, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was very old version. I think it was 15 years ago.
But maybe that's how we need to kind of frame it and present it, because we're looking at areas as oil and guns and nuclear weapons, and it's just so offensive.
Yeah, sure. In 15 years ago, you know, there are war in Iraq, in Afghanistan, maybe. This picture was very famous in 15 years ago, but it is not good put to oil, gun, etc. But it is reality, you know, Miriam.
I'm not sure I would agree it's reality, but maybe there's another way of using kind of more up-to-date images.
Okay, maybe we can erase this picture from the presentation. Okay, Gürkan Bey.
So now, thank you for your feedback, Miriam.
Thank you.
And we were discussing about this mediation. And while Mr. Salam was explaining about multiculturalism, interculturalism, etc., intercultural and diversity, since I was dealing with young people and international exchanges, we were always having this intercultural night with young people. Since that time, I have been thinking, like for European Union, we say it is not national, it is supranational. My question actually, within these three questions, if you would like to give any feedback, if we use supraculturalism or something supra, how does it work? I mean, if you need any mediator for your places or any mediation, how does it work? Because we also work with Intercultural Citizenship Education Handbook, which is published by Analyt Foundation. And we were also working on more very general things in terms of like democracy, but what democracy, what kind of democracy is always coming. It's not very much coming to me that I'm fully satisfied with if we teach this to the young people, to the students. But the question now I would like to ask actually, besides this, if you would like to give comment or feedback, if you think about something supra, is it possible? Is it very long-term, let's say, aim or overall objective at the end?
Any response? Roy?
I honestly don't know. I know that's a cop-out, and in a way, I don't know how to respond to that, I'm afraid.
Okay, thank you. Gürkan Bey, shall we continue or maybe I can continue? You know, for citizenship, multicultural societies, UNESCO in 1997 elaborated a teaching kit called Perfect Practice Citizenship, integrating peace, tolerance, international understanding, intercultural dialogue, respect of human rights, and democratic practice to the area of education. This kit says knowledge and understanding of specific global issues and trends, and knowledge of and respect for key universal values, and also skill for critical and creative and innovative thinking, problem solving, and decision making. And also there are skills such as empathy, openness, to experience and other perspective, interpersonal communicate, skill and aptitude for networking and interacting with people of different background and origin, and behaviorist capacities to launch and engage in proactive action. Mediation practice for resolving for conflict in a multicultural education environment. There are many solutions. For example, there are also many different research about this. I will come to what is conflict resolution. In fact, conflict resolution is process by which two or more parties reach a peaceful resolution to a dispute. In the workplace, there can be a variety of types of conflict. Conflict may occur between people, friends. Conflict can be occur between groups, but some conflict reflect real disagreement about how an organization should function. During the conflict resolution process, conflict resolution in many places typically involve some or all of the following process: recognizing by the parties involved that a problem exists, mutual agreement to address the issue and find some resolution, an effort to understand the perspective and concern of the opposing individual or group, identifying changes in aptitude, behavior, and approaches to the work by both sides that will lessen negative feeling. Conflict resolution, there are many skills. For example, there are many things, for example, leadership, emotion, management, and problem solving, self-control, interviewing and acting, listening. There are also empathy, listening, predicting, presentation, and sense of humor, understanding, verbal communication. Empathy is very important for this process. For example, managing emotion, identify non-verbal cues, self-control, facilitating. Also, we can organize brainstorming, conflict management, humble listening, planning, practical, realistic teamwork. For the mediation, there are many things to do: decision making, empathy, honesty, measured problem solving, rational approach, understanding, transparency is important during the mediation. Creative problem solving, there are many things as brainstorming solution, conflict analysis, collaborating, critical thinking, creativity, critical thinking, decision making, fair resolution, non-verbal communication, problem solving, sense of humor. For the accountability is adaptable, collaboration, driven, dynamic, focus, honesty, integrity, motivation, planning, and other things. For more conflict resolution skill is, for example, data-driven, leadership, logical, passionate, research, respect of differences, stress management, technical expertise. For conflict resolution, let us make a summary: identify problem, causing of the conflict, identify feeling associated with conflict, identify impact of problem, decide whether to solve the conflicts, work for resolution of the conflict, and conflict is resolved. This is the summary of the whole first part. Maybe we can discuss some thing this session. What is how we can solve the conflict in different cultural in different societies in Europe, in our countries. Gürkan Bey, you can maybe read the chat and we can have reaction from the group. Can you read the chat? There are some people writing.
No, there is no questions or anything. Yes, there are two has to leave because of the lockdown in Turkey and just leaving the two persons.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there is another question for now. Yeah.
Maybe we can have a reaction for conflict this solution in different countries, and let's say finish in 10 minutes. Okay. Are there any interaction for the this issue? Alizem, please.
Yeah. With a lot of people, they feel that conflict is about confrontation.
Right.
And therefore, they're reluctant to engage themselves in resolving conflict because they feel it's confrontational. But quite often, it's about finding a space when you can take your emotions out of how you feel about an issue or a situation. So it's being able to manage and deal with the situation when you're not angry or upset, so that you can focus on the facts and the issues at play. And sometimes being able to speak in a way that doesn't inflame somebody else, because you don't want to escalate a situation. But unless you deal with conflict, it does end up being confrontational, because ultimately an unresolved conflict leads to confrontation down the line, because people will get fed up of having to deal with the same situation over and over and over again. So one of the challenges is it's always a difficult thing to step up to do. Make sure that you do, if you're going to try to resolve a situation, make sure that you are in a position yourself where you're not overly emotional, upset or angry, that you can approach the situation and use intelligent language to diffuse any possibility that it might escalate to confrontation. And also speak with others to make sure that it's not just something you're being overly sensitive about, but have perspective. And sometimes that means to maybe walk away until you've worked through this and they're able to come back in a more calm space to be able to deal with the issue.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we are last 5 minutes. Shall we make a summary about today's session? And then if you have any comment, if you have any more question, we can continue. Mr. Gürkan, maybe you can make a summary for yes, please.
I would like to add something what Alison said, actually. Confrontation is really important to all what she said, to continue and to have this conflict resolved. But this is also the weakest point that human beings are facing in our world now. We see, and we really, how to say, really feel upset about that. And it doesn't give us really big hope that we can really confront with those that we can really succeed solving the conflict. Of course, there are lots of good examples, but I still have but and if, because there are lots of buts and if, I guess, for solving those sort of conflicts. Because of the cultural, maybe, whatever it is, you can say cultural difference, cultural clash, cultural, or what the word you are searching for. I guess this is the very long distance, actually, how to say, road to really we work on as the members of Analin Foundation, as we are bringing all the Euro-Mediterranean cultures together, where we are facing lots of this kind of conflicts. Even though we are really very much confronting, we are really feeling it, we are really trying it, and still buds and ifs existing and remaining. As we go back to the today, we have started with the review of the last week and then with the Kahoot implementation. That was fun. And after that, we had these breakout rooms and that we have been asked a couple of questions. Sometimes we really face difficulties of even understanding the question, not only because of the language, but also because of the maybe the difficulty of the content in terms of putting it from different perspectives, because there are lots of different cultures in this room now. And my hope it was just putting from one point to other side, or what we have learned from our own life up to now, and with this training program, to raise a little bit awareness about this kind of concept of the subject. And now with the presentation of Mr. Salam, I guess my last words will be giving thanks and wishing healthy and without pandemic, and as soon as possible gathering together and playing this game about this conflict, what all really cause for the people who are moving now. Still many people are changing their places for almost nothing. Thank you for joining, and thank you, Mr. Salam, and our dear friend from Morocco who organized this training. I hope to see you in Morocco and to discuss about this face to face, not as virtual but in person.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe Marca and Luisa, you are not at the first session. You can say a word, then we will close the session.
You are talking to me, right? Not with
Yes,
Fogo.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. For me, it was really important because I was not here in the first session, so I was a little bit confused. I really enjoyed the first game because I understand that a lot of things I don't know and understand. And of course, this is a lot of concepts, it's a lot of ideas that I think we need to do. A part of these workshops, we need to do I say introspective with ourselves and think how is our behaviors in our individual lives. But I really enjoyed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Luisa, this is your last words for you.
Yes, I think it was really interesting, and the definition was clear, so I can understand even if I'm not here every time, so it's cool.
Okay, in fact, we sent the presentation to your emails. Thank you very much for participating in this training. We hope to see you in soon. Enjoy your time without COVID. Take care.
Sorry, can I ask you, I think really fast, you know when we will meet again? If it's next week or in 2 weeks?
Wadi?
Yes.
Where are you? We miss you. You are absent.
So thank you for your participation in this workshop. It was, I think, more interactive. I'm very sorry I could not follow the whole workshop because I have influenza and difficulties in breathing. But it's okay. I'm okay. It's not corona. It's just influenza. Because I was already infected last year by corona, so I have the experience.
Okay, that's good.
So between April 15 and May 15, we will invite you again to discuss subject related to intercultural citizenship. So I believe that Dr. Negdet and our friend Gorkan and her team have already prepared the first subject of the first debate workshop. It will be about the Euro-Mediterranean partnership, right?
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
Doctor? Which will be followed by further. Yes.
We will discuss on it and we will talk it. Then we will share. Okay.
Okay. But we have also other thematic, other debate on intercultural citizenship and non-formal education, the challenges of multicultural citizenship, intercultural and Euro-Mediterranean identity, civil society organization, and the future of Mediterranean intercultural trends and social changes, the impact of multicultural citizenship education. On the other hand, we have perhaps planned to add 2 other capacity building workshops after debates workshops. So I think after 1 month on the same subjects as today and the first session, because it is very important to have more time to discuss citizenship and education. I asked the Foundation in Alexandria, specifically Leonora and Rasha Omeri, to lead us to lead these 2 workshops or to integrate all the in the future trend of planned for the next May, June by the Annalene Foundation, or quite simply to put us in contact with one of the external expert of the Annalene to do that. So we hope that we can organize these workshops. So for participants, you will receive this information in the next few days. We will also send you an evaluation survey to help us to evaluate these 2 first sessions and to prepare well for the next appointments. I don't know, Negdet, if you share with us these presentations.
We already sent with via email. Wadi, we sent the participant the presentation already. We did.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, and see you very, very soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy Easter to everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.